Well, the queen is dead. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Starkeeper Astrology. My name is Stephanie from Starkeeper Astrology, and I do 13 sign true sidereal astrology, which takes into account the visible sky, what we're able to see, and how our ancestors used to track. Today we're talking about the full moon that's coming up in Aquarius. If you thought I was going to say Pisces, definitely look into 13 sign true sky, check out my other videos. This full moon is also known as the harvest moon. We have the harvest moon every year, but this year is particularly different. I'm going to be talking about the astrology of this full moon, as well as some conspiracies that may be surrounding the energy to come. Let's dive into the chart. Okay, so here we have the full harvest moon, which is occurring September 10th. This is for the Eastern Standard Time. And it's occurring about 6 a.m. So as you can see, the moon will be in Aquarius at the later degrees of it, as the sun is also in Leo still. It'll be moving into Virgo next Friday, the 16th. So the Aquarius moon, what does it mean? What is the energy behind this? Well, we have a lot of Aquarian energy behind this, as I'm going to point over here. We have Uranus making a harmonious aspect to the moon known as a sextile, really reinforcing the theme of Aquarius. Aquarius is the energy of innovation, the future, visionary, not in a sense of a dreamer visionary like Pisces, but in a sense of moving the collective forward. This is an energy of future thinking, therefore envisioning the future. This sign also rules technology, advancements in the scientific realm, and also it is the energy of the humanitarian. So Aquarius has a really good heart, but tends to be a little bit more detached. So this is a very interesting time that we're in. So right off the bat, I'm going to get into a bit of the conspiracy side of this. If you do not like the conspiracy side, I will be putting out a written post of this energy, but I decided that we're going this route. This is really who I am. I really am looking to blend more than just astrology, but more as a outward view of what is going on. So let's not waste any more time.
It's a big club. You ain't in it. Same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe.
So, as we know, the queen is dead. This was just announced, and I do not believe that this was, let's say, a coincidence with the timing. I personally believe, and many others do who look into this kind of stuff, that the queen has been dead for quite some time. I believe she's been dead for at least a few months now, maybe longer according to others. And why is that? That's because we're talking about the ruling class here, and they don't announce anything to us until they have a game plan aligned. So we did not just find out that the queen's dead. Today is not the day that it happened. This is the day that it was announced. And it's 2 days before the harvest moon. Many people believe that the moon is an artificial device. I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but it is used for harnessing emotional energy. The moon rules water. We can watch it work with the tides, and we are mostly water, so it also pulls on us. So when there is a full moon, emotional energy is heightened. It's pulled to the surface. Things that are normally hidden within our shadows are illuminated during this time. And so oftentimes, for ritualistic events and for distraction events, full moon energy is utilized. So there is this pulling of the energy. So I'm going to say to everyone, keep a close eye on how you react to things that you're going to see in the headlines in this upcoming time. because that doesn't mean you're going to necessarily see it immediately on the full moon day, but that this is a marker for it. So just watch how you react, because I really do believe that they put out this news now to distract us from things that are to come. So let's dive a little deeper than just that. Aquarius, again, rules the technological realm. It rules forward advancements and visionary. The World Economic Forum, oh, how we love these people who control and pull the strings of our reality, have hosted an event similar to how they did with Event 201. Look into that. And this was called Cyber Polygon. And they simulated a cyber attack that would take down the grid. And the grid is crucial to most of our infrastructure. And we know that there is an agenda to change infrastructure and to move things into the smart, which really just means controlled, but smart type of tech. And so they talk about how fragile our infrastructure is, how fragile our systems are, and how they're needed, and there is this deep call for a change. So I personally believe that this full moon may mark the beginning, or may simply follow on a major power outage, or of the grid going down. I'm not trying to stir up any fear, but this is a reality we have to face. There is a chance that this is the energy that they are going to use to harvest. Again, why this moon? This harvest full moon is in Aquarius, the technological advancement and future visions. It aligns very much with their agenda of Cyber Polygon. Also, the polarity of the sun and the moon. The sun being in Leo, which rules royalty, the monarchy. And the moon, this again being the harvest moon, falling in Aquarius towards the end. Aquarius representing the people. This is the humanitarian efforts, being at polar opposites. And we just had the monarchy, the queen, just died. I believe she was already dead. But anyway. So, with all of that, the agenda here, I'm just looking at my notes, the agenda here is to crash the system, to welcome in the digital currency, the one world currency. So that means also the economic system must collapse. Now there's markers for that coming for 2024, but astrology, there's no clear-cut days. What happens is this energy is a free flow, and as we're moving from one sign to the other, things change. It's not always Uranus moved into Taurus on this day and the grid went down. No, it'll be an approaching or during, but it's not necessarily day of. So this is more of a future projection. But in 2024, there are two major planetary shifts. Uranus moving into Taurus, the sign of the finances, and Uranus again being the planetary ruler of Aquarius, which is the chaos, the shift, the changing. So the planetary change maker is moving into the house of finance, moving into the sign of finance. And then we have Pluto, the powerhouse of the planets, who is responsible for life and death cycles, moving into Capricorn in 2024, which is our systems. Everything that runs, it rules the bones of the body. So think of like the bones and the infrastructure of a society, the things that literally hold it up, the pillars. And so that's going into a life and death cycle. So we know we're at the end of, let's say, the way the world functions as we know it. And these people, these puppet masters who pull the strings, World Economic Forum people, look into them. They have this idea, this grand plan of making the smart cities, getting everything online, digitizing, merging the human organic flesh with machinery, known as transhumanism. And this is the goal they're looking to send us to. I mean, they even tell us that, all this stuff is crashing, but none of this is really our fault. This is the narrative that they're using to fuel this agenda. And we're being kind of pushed and led like a herd of cattle or a herd of sheep into this plan. And what Aquarius is also the rebel. And so we have the opportunity to rebel against this. So that's their plan. That's what they're looking to do. And there is a chance that very soon this grid may go down, whether for a test run or actually to create this event that we're talking about. But we have the opportunity, because Aquarius is the people, the collective, humanitarian efforts, and to rebel against systems. We can rebel against their grand design. And there's other ways of living. Many of us know, looking at alternative ways, buying land, connecting with Earth again, kind of removing ourselves from some of this digitizing. I mean, I'm not going to demonize all of technology. It certainly has its aspects that advance us. But the level that they're pushing it to is for control. These electric cars can be turned off remotely. What if you are speaking your mind like I am right now, and then your bank card gets cut off because it's digitized? You can't access your money. You can't access your digital currency. Think about these things too, because they only talk about the benefits, but they don't talk about who is behind and who is in control. So again, I'm not trying to spread fear. I just want us to see and realize where things are going. We need to pay attention to this kind of stuff, because this is the exact kind of marker that could be talking to us in a way it's right here in front of our faces. They just announced the Queen's death, which is designed to block the headlines, which is designed to cause some type of panic, a shift, and a change. The energy is moving. There's this idea of change. And that's all Aquarian. And this harvest moon, again, it's harvesting energy. They feed off of our emotional reactions. It's cause and effect. I don't remember who said this, but it's literally in like one of their handbooks for how to cultivate and run a society and for social programming. And it says problem, reaction, solution. So they create the problem hoping for the reaction when they already have the solution that they're trying to sell us. So the problem will be the grid going down, possibly. The reaction will be panic, people not being able to get the things that they really desperately need, being able to get where they need to go. And then the solution is this plan that they already have set in motion for these smart cities, for this digitizing of everything, for changing of the currency. Now, we can ride this out to a degree, but eventually you go so far down this rabbit hole and you start to have a harder time getting out of it. So it's really important that we look for alternative ways of living. And this is also a really important time to get in contact with your soul tribe. It is so important. It really is so important to find people who not only resonate with you, but share the same value systems, because we don't all have the same value systems. And if there's one thing that chaos is designed to do, is designed to sift out the distractions, anchor us now into the present, and so that we can see what we really value. And that's what we're going through as a collective. If you look at anything like natural disasters, it really comes down to, if you were to lose your house, your stuff, but then you find out your family's alive and okay, or you find your dog or your cat alive and okay, suddenly everything else seems so little. Everything else seems like such nonsense and minuscule compared to that. And that's really what's happening. And so as long as we can stay anchored and hold our value systems close to us, we'll be fine. But we need to hold a vision. We don't have to visualize and go for what this elite world is trying to craft the reality into. There is a splitting of timelines, and I'll get into that too. I refer to it as the bifurcation. I didn't make that name up, but that is what I refer to it as. And it is a splitting of reality. And where some people will choose this more technological realm, this more control, this more convenient way of life, others will choose to get closer to nature, to live a more simple life, and find their true values. And so with a lot of these shifts and changes coming up, this full harvest moon is really asking you, what is your vision of the future? Are you aligning with it, or are you just going with the herd? Are you just becoming a collective mind? It's up to us to choose where we go. It's up to us to make our decisions and to stay calm during the divinely sanctioned chaos that is here to help us find our values. So if the grid does go down, stay calm. If the grid does not go down, that's wonderful. I don't want to be right. But if it does, make sure that you hold steady. I'm really not trying to spread fear. I just want everyone to really be aware of what could come, because we know their plans and we know they're going to implement it. It's just a matter of when. So that's it for today. And the Aquarius harvest full moon. This is definitely a time for change. We can see that. And just be ready. Align with your vision of the future, not anybody else's.